Welcome, everybody, to Gotham After Dark Thrones of the Underworld. I am DM Discretion. Today, we have Ethera, the Architect, Access, Mystic Knight, and Toreador. Crosshair and Audible may not join us tonight. So, we're going to pick up a little bit from where we were in the last game. And I have a game summary here. All right, so in the last session, we were talking about tier advancement. And just as an aside to that, the issue with tier advancement is not just point conversions and hoarding XP in order to hit all the markers and then automatically go to the next level. You really have to make the case as to what your character did. And I'm not talking about action, just actions. I'm talking about like what, and they go into it more in the book, but essentially, what did your character experience that would necessitate moving on to the next chapter of his or her life? So, how in the next tier different are you were from the tier before? So you're all tier 1. You're leaving tier 1 behind. What differences does your character have moving into the next stage of their advancement than they had when they came in? If it sounds a little confusing, it's probably because I'm not actually wording it correctly. But it can't just be, well, I did a bunch of shit, and I killed a bunch of shit, and I spent the XP that I've been hoarding up, and I bought the skills, and I did this, and I did that. No, it has to be where, the character has gone through something. What did they go through? What turn of events did they facilitate, participate in, initiate in, complete that would warrant them to get to that next phase of their development? It's the same like in real life terms. You're a child. You go through you go through adolescence. You have puberty. You become an adult. You become a young adult. You become a fully formed adult, middle-aged. You become old and ancient and dead. In every one of those phases, there's a change in your life. Unless you're an incel and you don't ever leave your house, there are things that happen in your life that you could point to and look at and say, this is the point where my life changed. Whether it be some tragedy or some good fortune that befell you out of nowhere. The birth of a child, the death of a loved one, the acclamation of some sudden success that you weren't expecting. Shit like that. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. But if you turn that around in terms of the game, it follows that same track, except you guys have the added wrinkle of being villains. So being villains doesn't necessarily mean that every bad thing you do is automatically going to jump you to the next tier. What did you do, and how did it impact the world that you live in? You guys are in a fortunate position to have that freedom, that luxury, to be able to explore the darker natures of yourselves as your avatars and decide, I started off as a low-level enforcer in this particular agency, and I wormed my way, weaseled my way, murdered my way, lied my way to get to the next stage of my character's evolution. And it is so diametrically opposed to where I started that you can point to it and say, that's the moment that it changed for the character. And speaking in the first person, it would be the same if you're in the first person. At what point in that character's life did it change for you? What decision did you make? What how did you affect the outcome of the zeitgeist? Did you do something so incredibly wicked or phenomenal or self-serving that you could point to it and say, this is the moment that this character became noticed and known? So you have a little bit more of a sandbox to play in, but it's not just the traditional, I killed a bunch of monsters, I got a bunch of XP, I'm at the next level. With this game, you can do all of those things, but if it's during the course of your regular business, that's not necessarily the change. It's not the change agent. If you're an enforcer and your job is to break kneecaps because people aren't paying up their dues and they aren't paying the VIG on a loan that your boss sent out, that's not necessarily that's not a milestone that you can point to and say, well, this is the moment that changed my life, unless it's something where you know that it's going to take you in a different direction. So that's a very scenic route version of how I'm looking at it, and how the game intimates it, and in certain cases it tells you outright. Because the acclamation of XP, you can get all of that, and you can hit tier 6 rather easily if you play a long-term campaign. But that is not the goal. That's the goal is to grow the characters however you wrote them up to be. So if you wanted this character to rule the world, how are you going to get there? And what did you do to get there? That's where the fun and advancement comes in. To that effect, if you feel that your characters are ready to take the next step because of X, Y, and Z, then let me know. We'll chat about it. Send me a quick message or a couple of sentences, a paragraph, however much you want to write. When I get to it, we'll read it. I'll comment on it, and then we'll come to some midpoint where I may agree, I may disagree, or I may want to see a little bit more, and I'll give you my justifications. It won't just be a flat-out no, unless it's just ridiculous. So I guess that's that.
You also forgot that one of the things that you wanted from what we discussed is that it has to be from the character's perspective.
Yes.
Not player. So whatever your definition is, the way the character was created, it has to be within those guidelines, unless you can make an argument for otherwise. Like for instance, if you're a warrior who seeks justice, whatever, XXX, it has to be within those guidelines, unless the particular injustice that you did fits that lane for some reason. Like if it's out of the character's purview, then you have to make a case for it. No, at least that's the way I understood it when you explained it.
It is all of those things. It may seem a little complicated, but it really isn't. But anyway, I mean, it'll lend to some. My hope is that it lends to some creativity on your part as players to figure out whether or not what you initially wrote is really what you want, or if you want to change it midstream and say, I was going on this direction, but it's not really fitting how the game is progressing and how my character is reacting. So I want to change it. Spend the XP and change it. And that's really the best thing about this game. You can change it to where you're now building it in the way that it's been, it follows the direction you've been building it towards. So in any event, let's talk about our last session. We had a new arrival, the architect. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's Abhinav El Aswad, or Aswat.
Be right back.
He's a 65-year-old Egyptian pawnbroker residing in New York City. he had received a four-sided key and a strange pendant from a dying Farouk who had burst into flames as his life expired. During that phenomenal exchange, his ashes conjured a vision of the keeper that was guarding the portrait that Diablo in the earlier games had tried to utilize in his madness. Madness, I say. And you had gone to the Parkside Galleries to investigate it, and you came across that apparition again. It didn't make any violent, it didn't take any action against you, but this is all leading you to believe that there's a deeper meaning to it, and that's where I kind of left you. And remember, you guys are muted, so if you're talking, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Be right back.
So, if I'm correct, you told me that I was at a set of stairs.
Yeah, that would lead to the loft for where Farouk had his office and where he was living.
And there was a person there.
There was someone. It was the image of the keeper. Eyes were completely black. I believe there's a term for that. I'll look it up, but what it's called, that's a sclera or something like black sclera. I know there's a term. I've been trying to plug it into Midjourney to give me something cool. It's just not picking it up for some reason. But in any event, yes. And then they turned and vanished right at that moment where you were deciding whether or not to continue to go up.
So it was there, then it disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
In that moment, basically, I'm gonna head up the stairs. At the same time, Lou, heading up the stairs is a little bit difficult for me. For some reason, one leg decides not to move.
Mm-hmm.
So I am literally in the midst of kind of arguing with myself to go up the stairs, but I'm forcing myself up the stairs.
Okay.
Let's investigate. No, don't investigate. Did you see it? No. So yes, I saw it. So what? I'm gonna head up the stairs.
Okay. Let's see.
Now, Louis, my darker part, in any way do we feel like death is in the air?
I'm gonna have
Through maybe a smell or something like that. He won't have abilities because he's not awakened yet. In that sense of he his like I said, they're super limited on anything they could really do. Only the main one can do some things, but the other two is like very. But if it had to do, like if it's a death thing, he would be able, like he maybe a scent of what death really smells like. In that sense, like even if it's like a petrification, mummification, anything like that, he would know what the smell be like. The other two won't.
Okay. No.
Okay. All right.
Full sclero or
Sclera.
eight-ball hemorrhage.
Yeah, black. It's a black sclera.
or 8-ball hemorrhage, which is caused by blunt force trauma to the head.
Okay, well, it's definitely not that, but yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna lead upstairs.
Hold on a second.
I don't want to hold on.
Nice.
Don't make me.
All right. You remember this place is the silence is the loudest part, where you can hear your breath, the floor creaking. Climbing up this ladder, stairs / ladder. You can hear every creak of the wood, and it's just throwing you off.
So I saw something there.
Mm-hmm.
So, hello? Is anybody there? Yoo-hoo.
You come peeking your head up. The space opens up to where it's a sort of neo-modern living space where there's at the farthest end of the room, from the occasional flashes of the traffic lights as they're shining through it and piercing that darkness. You can see paintings along the wall. It's a gallery after all, and there's some Art Deco chairs, a nice white sofa at the farthest end. You can see the after images of a bedroom, and to the right there's a kitchenette. To the left, there you can see a big screen TV on the wall. It's still you don't see that girl.
Now, Lou, since I know him, do I recognize her from being around him at any time? Like
Right.
times I've stopped by.
Make an intellect roll. The difficulty is going to be a 3.
Right, give me a second, because I'm right now getting into roll 20.
Mm-hmm.
Is 8 off there?
I'm not sure.
Oh, 8 off.
Yes, I am.
Dude, can you roll for me just right now? If you can.
Just gotta get into the computer. Hold on.
No, I think I'm good. I'm already here. Okay. A D20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not with that roll.
Okay. All right. So it's just below the threshold. You just you
Don't remember.
don't
Okay.
remember her. Yeah. He's always had assistants, and they've generally been young females. He has a fetish. He has a kink, but not a fetish where he acts on. He just likes them. He likes them around. He always used to. You remember him always saying that having them around reminds him of his youth and how he was a virile young man. But now he has them around because they're eager, and but this one in particular, no, you don't remember.
Okay. So
Climbing up, I'm assuming.
Yes.
You look around. You don't smell anything. You do smell like the smell of like rotten garbage, meaning like whatever food garbage he's had has been sitting for longer than it should have. Normally you would take it out before that smell, and then there's you can now hear the drip of water from the sink in the back. You know what? Let me.
So everything looks neat, right? It
Mhm.
doesn't look misplaced. Has it looked like it's been searched at all?
Honestly, no. So let me just hold on a second. Let me do this here. I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah, yeah. No, perfect effect. Okay.
Okay, so that echoes throughout the entire room, and with that smell, and make a perception check.
Mm, 13.
Okay, so you, a passing car's headlights flash the room again, and nothing. But then you get this sneaking, like tingling on the back, on your right side behind the back of your neck. You turn and you can see her again. This time her face is completely gaunt and white, and there's from her eyes there's black veins going through her face, and she opens her mouth, and that just throws you. It's just like just fills the room with that sound. And for those, what the? Well, that was pretty low on my end. I don't know if you guys heard that loud enough, but whatever.
I heard it.
Okay,
Heard it?
so it almost knocks you off your feet, and with
So,
that,
like, did my hair fly back?
yeah, pretty much, and she doesn't make a move towards you, just that roar, and then she turns
Okay.
and she turns
So,
and looks away from you. What are you doing?
look at where she's looking at.
All right, there's something on the mantle just below that television.
So, right now, no lie, Lou, this is
There's a
what
book.
happens
You
to
can
my
see
character.
you can see a bookcase there. That's the other part. And wherever there isn't wherever there's an empty space, there's books.
Okay. So, due to the shock and everything, so I urinated on myself.
Okay.
So, because of the being
Mm-hmm.
afraid, the part of me that is literally a coward in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, my pants are wet,
Okay.
and inside my head is literally screaming going on right now. So, I'm kind of like, the only thing is that the main one is looking at what she's looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So, after a minute of adjustment, she's still there.
Now you turn to look. You turn back. She's gone again.
So I'm gonna walk towards the bookcase, shaking my leg a little bit.
Okay. So you get closer and closer to the bookcase. You start hearing.
I hear what?
I don't know if you can hear it.
Sounds like breathing.
Where's it coming from?
As you're moving closer to the bookcase, you can hear that sound, and there's without it actually lighting up the room, there's a small like sliver in between two books it's radiating like a golden reddish light just for a
So
second.
turn around, see if she's behind me.
She is not.
So okay. So go to where it was lit up
Mm-hmm.
and move the books side by side to see what's there. At the same time, read what the books are.
Just for the most
And
part, it's just about art, some history. Nothing. If
when it
it's
the history book,
yeah.
what is that about? What is it based on?
One is was it Greek mythology.
I'm gonna take that book and put it in my jacket.
Okay.
So I'm
And
gonna look in
once you
between
pull
the
the
books.
book out, a manila envelope just slides, like it falls to the side. And
So I'm gonna
as soon as you grab it, the voices stop. In fact, everything stops, even the dripping water.
water, everything.
And the sounds
So
from the little rumbling sounds from New York outside the window, those stop. And
turn
I'm going to
around,
move
just
on
look
to
around.
Mystic Knight. So Mystic Knight,
I like that, Louis. I like that.
are you there, Mystic Knight?
Yes, sir. I am here.
Okay. You were, let's see, where were you? You and
We were.
Access were working on, you had met up with Access. He had
Yep,
given
at a
you,
cafe.
yep, he had given you whatever information that he could, he left you behind. You saw that figure in the reflection of your spoon. When you turned, you didn't see it. Outside, it's just
No, no, no.
was it?
That was when I met up with Ethera.
Oh, that's Ethera. I'm sorry. And you had met up with Access, and he was
And we're
relating.
still there together, going back and forth, kind of catching up quickly, but letting him know about the job that I need.
Mm-hmm.
That whatever we get, I'm going to share.
That's right. You guys were going to investigate Helios and talk about the Solomon Grundy.
Yeah. And he agreed. So from this point forward, I think using my lab would be more secure.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're ready, let's go.
Yeah. So we'll go.
All right. Takes you no time flat to get to your flat. And the whole time that you're moving about, getting to your place, can't shake this feeling that you're being watched. And every time you turn to where you think you're getting that the crazy Ivan tingly feeling, you turn and you don't see anything. Just just normal people going about their normal day, and the street traffic, sirens in the distance, horns, city ambience, which I have, but
So this is Mystic Knight, am I correct?
this is Mystic Knight, correct?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, remember, I was running a background diagnostic kind of trying to decipher and analyze the AI code, the drone code,
Mm-hmm.
and the hacker code.
Okay.
So use that to kind of run a passive scan
Mm-hmm.
to see if I get a ping of any one of those three in the area and location. And I'm going to apply effort to it to expand the radius to the nearby electronics,
Mm-hmm.
to use it as a kind of a digital web. So I can actually
What do you mean?
not only
What do you mean nearby electronics?
like any electrical conduct, computer, phone,
Are you
in the area?
you're trying to do the Batman one, the Dark Knight Rises?
No, because that would be like getting images and stuff like that. What I'm trying to do is just find a source code, see if it matches any one of the three that I already have in file,
Source code.
but use.
So, okay, I don't mean to interrupt, and I apologize. But
No.
when I hear source code, that means something different to me.
Okay, you know that every hacker has and every computer program has its own specific digital code, right? So
Okay.
I'm looking for those specific. Well, anybody that has any type of
No,
tech.
you don't have to explain it to me, but yes, okay, I got you. Go ahead.
All right, so that's what I'm looking for. But I'm doing passively by basically creating a digital net from all the electronics in the area, so it can enhance the signal to locate it. So, like, let's say
how would that appear on your
He's
instrumentation?
crowdsourcing
Right.
other machines.
Thank you. So it would look like a ping, like a normal ping. Like whenever they're tracing something and they see a ping in the address, that's how it would look like.
Okay.
Oh, can I assist them just to maybe give him a bonus or something?
Only
like
if he lets you know that he's doing that, because his equipment is set for him to be able to view. Am I correct or no?
Yeah. And I was actually going to ask
Access.
Danny access for assistance. So you kind of jumped the gun on that one.
Okay.
So as I'm setting that up, I'm letting him know I have a suspicion that we're being tracked right now. And I think it's from what I already told you about this AI that's in the system somewhere, and a hacker that's actually about our level. He's definitely an elite.
But this AI, I mean, what exactly are you talking about?
An AI program that's independent, running the net, the dark web, actually.
And this thing is so it's independent, it pretty much could think and everything on its own?
Yes.
So Lou, with my knowledge,
at least that's what it looks like. So I tell him, listen, if you jack in, I'll show you the what I've got already, and you can see for yourself what I'm talking about.
So Lou,
at the same time, I could use your help.
With my knowledge, how hard is that to actually make something like what he's talking about?
Well, given enough time, you can pretty much create almost everything outside of a true independent AI. Building the algorithm to be able to do that depends on how much time you have, how much computing power you have, and how much resources to make all that come
behind it, right? Yeah. And then how much time would it take generally?
With your level and your with your access, it would take some time. You would need some serious backing in order to make that happen quickly. So that's a very ambiguous way of me not giving you an exact time.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna assist Adolfo on that.
All right. You're going to assist Mystic Knight.
Mystic Knight, excuse me. Mystic Knight.
Now.
So Mystic Knight, are we inside your pad now?
Yeah, you're in his pad now.
Okay, so I'll take out my laptop.
Wait, we're jumping the gun here because I had just described the whole sense of being followed, all that good shit. You tell me if you went to your place or you're.
No, this is en route.
Okay.
This is en route.
Okay.
Once the car made adjustments, and I still feel that sense. That's when I'm telling him, and access. When you see the codes I'm talking about, you realize that two of them, the drone and the AI, have military tags to it.
Have you physically seen the drone? Do you know how it looks?
Yes. Let's show him the picture of the drone. I transmit it to him. That's what it looks like. That's what was what we encountered just before the AI.
So,
and then after the AI, I show him the source code of the hacker and his picture too.
So Lou, this drone, me looking at it, I mean, how advanced is it? And what will be the price tag on it?
He doesn't have the specs, but looking at
No, I have the specs and everything. Remember, I took it down. I took the specs and a clear picture of it.
All right. So yeah, the kind of tech that it has, because it has stealth capabilities, it's definitely could be considered military, or some advanced robotics company, corporation that put their money behind it. There's a lot of tech that's in this.
So-
it has advanced stealth capabilities, meaning it could fly in daylight virtually unnoticed.
So I'm gonna with Synapsis, Synapsis Corp, we deal with military grade illegal weapons. Do we have anything like this, or this is way above?
Not that it's way above, but you're not privy to everything. However,
Well, the knowledge that I know.
There've been talks about creating personal drones that have these types of capabilities, but they're right now just in the concept stage.
Okay, and Adolfo, Mystic Knight, what's the so he has pretty much everything when it comes down to the drone. Am I correct? Like the specs,
For the most
specs
part,
and
yeah.
everything. I asked him,
Yeah.
you don't mind if I get a copy of this?
Bro, you know how we do? Yeah, take it.
Okay.
I can use all the help I can get.
Okay. So Lou, what I'm gonna do is later on I'm gonna call Jonathan, which works for Synapsis, and I'm gonna send him the information of what I found.
Okay.
Hold on, let me write down this name too, so I know. I said Jonathan, am I correct? Yeah.
Yes, you said John.
So as we're doing that, so we can get the pings if it does hit. I also tell him, you think that's funky? Check out the code for the AI.
So I'll go and I'll take a look at it.
Okay. Hold on a second. I need to do something real quick, buddy.
So now the code for the AI isn't as complete. I got what I could before I was tracked down, but I got enough of it that even that bit, that small bit I did there, is beyond anything I've ever seen. Even more so than the drone.
I'm waiting for Lewis.
Yeah, just give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I'm placing an image of the drone on the chat window. The what you notice on the for the code that he was able to get from the AI, it suggests a level of quantum computing that you have only heard exists, but have never actually seen.
So Lou, I am going to call. I'm trying to hold on. Give me a second. So I'm gonna call Chinaman from the hacker group. Is called the Nations, and it's so I'm gonna call him, and I'm gonna call him now, and then I'm gonna send him the information that Adolfo has just sent me.
Okay. All right. So walk me through who's Chinaman.
Chinaman. So the hacker group is called the Nations, and what it is it's because basically it's worldwide. That's the reason why they call me Nigerian. And Chinaman would be the person that is connected directly to me.
You handle it then.
Yeah, nobody knows each other by their real names or anything like that. So they know me as Nigerian. I know him as Chinaman. If there's a guy in Russia, it'll be Russian man. And that's pretty much the way it goes. So like that, everybody could keep all this stuff hidden. And everybody uses burner phones too. They don't use their real.
Okay. After a couple of rings, someone picks up. Do you have a code? Do you have a call sign?
So what I do now is
This is what happens when you don't, tell me about this stuff until the day of, which is annoying. I'm very annoyed.
Okay. So what I do is I go Chinaman. It's the Nigerian.
Oh yeah, don't you owe me money?
Come on, Chinaman. Didn't I send you the payment? And Chinaman, the sun is out. So that's the password. The sun is out.
It's like, yeah, I don't do the gift card thing. That's Indian. Money. I expect payment by end of day.
Okay, I'll send you the payment. Don't worry about it. But I have something that you might be interested in, and I decided to call you first.
Yeah. If I had a nickel every time you call and tell me that, I have 1,000,000 nickels.
Okay, so you know what? You're gonna have 1,000,002 nickels once you see this. So I send them the information.
It's like, whoa, what the? So you tried to fry my system. What are you doing?
But this is something that I just found right now.
So there's a audible. There's his silence is deafening because he doesn't. He's quiet, but he's usually a talker, meaning like he talks as he thinks.
I know. I was the same way too.
It's like, where you get this?
It's the big quick sound.
I'm gonna tell them what repeat it again, Mr. Knight. I didn't hear you.
It's a new player in town.
Oh, well, I'm gonna say, well, I got my friend Mystic Knight here, and he bumped into this. He called me, so I could take a look at it.
No,
and I decided,
no, you did not bump into this. He said, who'd you hack? Did you hack Chinese? You hack Russian?
So I'm gonna tell him what I just said right now. My friend Mystic Knight hacked into. Where do you hack into, Adolfo, exactly?
Just tell him I hacked into Shepherd.
So, oh my lord. okay, so I'm gonna tell him he hacked into Shepard, and this is what they're using.
You hacked into the. Wait. Shepard? Shepard? Is it? Are we talking about the same thing or a different code? You hacked.
No,
You hacked.
not me. He hacked into Shepard, and this is the code that he got out of it. So I sent it to you, so then we could try to figure out if we could replicate it or use it. Because imagine if we get our hands on something like this.
After another audible silence. Don't call me again. Lose my number. And then the dial tone.
This is some serious shit. So I told him, bro, this is some serious shit.
Okay.
They don't even want to touch this.
I told you. This is the reason why we're now investigating Helios. However, we got to deal.
Basically,
we got to deal with our spy first, though.
So basically, what he just said right here is, I don't want this job, just dead. So that's pretty much. So I'm asking him, are you sure you want to investigate this? Because let me tell you something. That guy knows his stuff, and if he's telling us to leave it alone, because that's basically what he's telling us to leave it alone. If he's telling us to leave it alone, that means this is some serious shit.
But the problem is we can't, because if we leave it alone, there'll be nothing to play with, and I mean absolutely nothing. I know you must have seen the news with the black ooze and all that other nonsense, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're trying to get.
Well, I'm just letting you know right now. The hacker group does not want to mess with this, because if he's saying no, that means everybody else is going to say a no across the board. So that means.
I believe me, I understand what I'm getting myself into. However, I mean, that's why I was that was why I was transparent with you, because I don't want you to think I'm trying to dupe you into something, to my benefit. I'm giving you the full lowdown so that way you can make a conscious decision.
So now what we got to do now is we got to find where all the superheroes disappeared to. Am I correct?
Well, we want to get as much information about them, like any safe houses, any other headquarters, any other information that they may not have given the public or the news media. I'm trying to gather some intelligence so that way not only will you get provided that, but I can provide my contact so that way I can keep developing that contact, because that contact is very useful, which is the only reason we agreed.
And when was the last time they were seen? Do you know?
Quickly go through what I've researched so far. According to the timeline, it would be about a week, right?
More or less.
That did disappear? Yeah, about a week. So run that trace, run that ping.
So we could go back into the cameras about a week, if I'm correct, to start checking to see where they're at.
We could do that.
And we could use the cameras around the whole entire building, in their own building. What is it called? Helios? Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
So
their Helios Tower.
Yeah, we could use all the cameras there. We could probably use the cameras inside the building too. And then from there, try to follow them.
Well, first let's see who's following us.
Okay.
So, all right. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to use effort to expand from what I guess would be short to medium, or medium to long. Mm-hmm. Which one would it be?
I don't understand the question. Repeat it again.
I want to use effort to expand the distance.
Mm-hmm.
So would the natural base be short range to increase it to medium, or medium to long?
Does it have a range to begin with?
Uh,
If it doesn't have a radius, then we can start with the short range to medium.
Oh, Lou, and then I sent Chinaman what I owe him, plus I sent him a bonus, and I told him thank you.
all right.
Your
So
your message is completely blocked.
Okay.
Your funds are they whatever the address was, they don't reach it.
Okay.
all right. So I'm going to do a stunt with the wireless network cantrip,
Mhm.
which is normally to improve the wireless network reception, and repurpose it to not only improve the network, but to send out the ping. So that way I can locate it. That in itself is an immediate range. So by pumping effort into it, would make it short.
Mhm.
Being that I do have a uh,
A 2 for what? Your effort?
two edge, no, two effort, can I increase it a second time to make it medium range?
Sure.
Okay. So how much would that cost? Because that would be up to you. How much?
Is there an initial activation cost?
Yeah, it's one.
Okay. So we'll increase that to, in this case, a grand total of 3 from your pool.
Three. All right. So now I'm going to apply my edge to lower the difficulty by 1, because that's all I have remaining to do. Using hacking, of course, that's a specialty. The others are by 2. Um, Perception-based task reduces it by 1, although that's supposed to be a specialization. You never change it, but I'll keep it at training. So that's another 1. This is my magic. That's another 1, and this is an intellect-based roll, so that's another 1. So that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 to the difficulty.
Okay. When you
And with Danny, it could be anywhere between 1 or 2 more steps as an asset. Which I was also going to ask, being that I do have the code, and this is situational, will that provide also another asset to lower the difficulty by another 1 at least?
However it shakes out, you automatically hit this roll. So doing your prep work, going
No,
through.
but I mean, I want to make sure not only do I get an automatic, if it's an automatic roll, I'm also securing ourselves so that way we don't get backtracked.
Okay,
Or
those are 2 separate actions. You do understand that.
okay,
It's not
okay, so
it's
then
not an all-in-one. So you get to
all
do
right.
1 and then
So what we'll do is this: I'll do the ping, and being that it's actually Access is forte for the hacking. Access, you can take care of the counter hack, so that way we don't get traced, and I'll be your asset for that.
Okay.
So then he would have to lower the difficulty, and then I would be an asset to him using my artifact and using my hacking skill. Would be 3 that I can add to him.
Hold on. So I have.
And I already used my effort. If not, I would be able to help him with it.
No, I'm going to use some effort too. So I have hacking, right? I got my glasses. Where the fuck are my glasses? This is just too small. Can't see. So Adolfo, can you help me out over here?
I don't have a character, so
No, I could tell you. I have hacking. Where are they? Just right here. Okay. No, the talk with the machines I don't have.
I thought you did have to talk to the machines.
No, I changed it. I'm keeping the. Where the hell is this shit at? Okay, so I have hacker. And hold on.
You email me your PDF and I can help you.
So just for shits and giggles, while you guys figure that out, we're gonna come back to Ethera.
Hold on, Adolfo.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why does she look like Wednesday?
Apparently everybody.
Okay, so Adolfo, I have data jack.
All right. So do me a favor, if you can call him so that
Okay, I'll call him.
you guys can talk about that offline.
Let me mute myself.
Yeah, but that'll kill.
Well, or just text it. I don't really care. You guys got to mute. I'm on
Okay.
Ethera now. While you guys are figuring that out. Now, you had phased through the floor initially because that floating man in that crazy suit was coming up the side of the building so silently that if you didn't look over, you wouldn't have noticed it until he was on you. You instinctually phased through the floor. When you phase through the floor, in this room where you can hear this whimpering, you can see a little bit of ambient light and that puddle of black goo with this woman sitting in it, and immediately freaked out and started floated down to phase through that floor to go below, right to the point where she had noticed you and immediately ran towards you, making an ungodly sound from her throat. And where is it? Yeah, so which sent chills through your body. Now you get through that floor, and you're in what looks like a lab. You can hear people talking as you're going through the floor. You can hear a buzz of activity. It's like, what's happening? Something's interfering with this containment field. She's gonna get out. We have to reprogram it. Hurry up, quick!
I am continuing on the Ethera Express to the first floor. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
You get once you get through that, you're just as you're floating through people in lab coats, you do see some Helios, what is it? Like people with Helios tags on them, identifiers. So this is Helios. This is this is what you're looking for. But there's at least 8 people in this lab, and they're all at stations. None of them have seen you yet. Now, when you phase, you're not invisible. You're just intangible, correct?
I'm just intangible, kind of ghostly looking.
Mm-hmm.
That's the natural state, apparently,
mm-hmm.
from how they describe it.
Okay.
So I'm literally like kind of ethereal.
Okay. And you soak all that in just in that moment as you go through the next floor.
Mm-hmm.
And you go through that floor, and you're in the lobby landing for this building. So there's the elevator to your left. It's a safe house. You're looking at a safe house. You can tell. Just all of what you're looking at is nondescript. It looks like a regular office building. You can see a directory to your right, the elevator to your left. There's emergency exit. There's the main exit that's directly ahead of you. The lighting here is it's not on. There's a security guard that's like half asleep at his desk, and you can see him. He's just staring at he's doom scrolling right now. Not completely unaware of what's going on.
Okay, well, I will first pull my face mask up,
Mm-hmm.
and I will put my hoodie on,
Mm-hmm.
make sure it's keep obscure my face. And then I will look for cover.
Okay, there's plenty of shadows right where you're standing. There's a stairwell door, but that's locked. It's clearly locked from the outside, from the inside. Excuse
Okay.
me. So that the only egress is ahead of you. If you're gonna, without phasing through it, you can phase through. But this is where you are. You have a small area where the light is completely void.
Okay. I will spend a few minutes in that area because I'm waiting to see if any alarms go off in this building, based on what I
From
saw
what?
on the way down.
Okay, so from the
5
security
minutes.
desk,
Yeah,
he's
for
just
5
he's
minutes, I'm
just
just gonna wait.
yeah. Every so often you hear him, like chuckle or just like looking at stuff. Oh, this is so stupid. Like he's essentially a flashlight cop. So he may be part of the cover, but at no point did any sort of alarm go off.
Okay. So after about 5 minutes, I will make my way. I will phase through the door. I will walk through the door intangibly,
Okay.
and I will take the stairs up sneakily and silently.
Okay.
I want to keep as low a profile as possible.
Okay. As you're once you form the plan, you can the front door opens. You can hear you can see the dude's like, oh shit, and he puts away his phone, and your plague doctor is standing in the foyer, just tapping on the glass, and he's like, oh fuck, shit, all right, and he opens the door as you're phasing through. He's like, what are you doing? Did you not hear that? He's like, what are you talking about? That noise. You don't smell that? That smell. There's no way he can smell with a plague doctor's mask on. As you're phasing through, his goggled eagle face just turns in your direction just as you're phasing through the wall, through the door. You don't know if he's essentially the effect is he may just have been staring you right in the face. But you phase through, you're in this there's a corridor going straight. There is a stairwell going to your left. And you can hear the activity echoing from above, from the stairwell.
Okay.
There's no alarms, no sirens, just people shouting in echoed. It's echoing through the hallway.
Okay.
The corridor goes all the way to the end of the building. There's a couple of doors on either side of that. On either side of the wall, there's some plaques, and you can see that they're front offices for for a
Pharaohs.
dentist. Yeah,
for Pharaohs itself. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. I will slip into the stairwell, and I will listen out to hear if there's any steps. Anybody going up or down on the stairs.
Just then you hear, I'm sorry, I didn't see anything. And you can hear the door, the tumbler, keys jingling, and the tumbler open up and the door fly open as you're going to the steps. So you were going through the steps, up the steps?
Up the steps.
Okay. And you can hear the activity. The door opens up, and he's like, wait here. Do not move. Covers the exit. Yes, sir? Assuming you're stealthily moving up the steps.
Yeah, I'm stealthily moving up the stairs. You get tromping.
I get it. You're a thief, so you get to that second floor. Just as you hit it, I can hear you. I can hear your heartbeat. Why don't you come out so we can have a conversation?
Under my breath. Okay, give me a second. I'm taking a look at my that thing you gave me. I want to double check it.
Okay. And
Okay,
the
so I'm
thing
using it
is
right
that
now.
his voice is muffled, but you can hear it. And he's like,
I can hear you. I can hear your breath. Your heartbeat is so fast.
no, he doesn't say the heartbeat so fast because you're in your stealth mode, so there's no
Right.
outside of the Black Goose section. You're back to cool cucumber trying to get the hell out of here mode.
All right. I will activate the disguise module
Mhm.
at this point. So I will make myself look like blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl.
Okay, just then you can hear people coming up a doors fly open, and it's like, you're sure it's activated? You're sure? And two techs just walk by you. They don't even see you. You're at the top of the stairs, and they're so into their tablets that they just walk right by you in their coats. And the girl, they're arguing back and forth. They say, I don't even know what happened. What kind of interference was that?
And at that moment, after they make their way past me,
Now
I will head down
you can hear footsteps coming up.
and I make my way down those steps.
Okay. So as you hit that landing to the right, he's hitting the landing coming up to the left. And he's like, who are you? Just face to face with him.
I'm a curious cat.
There's no face to get a read on a face, facial
Right, no.
features.
Actually, I'll try to do this differently with my voice as well, because trying to.
Okay.
I'm just a curious cat. That's all.
Curious indeed. You don't look like one of Emerald's people. What are you doing here? How did you get in here?
Well, that guy wasn't paying attention downstairs. Wasn't very hard.
His hand does the Professor X style to the side of his head.
That doesn't look. I'm thinking that doesn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
At that moment, I will foot sweep him.
Okay. It's a might roll.
Mm-hmm. All right. So.
All else fails that. Foot sweep straight.
I've got one edge apparently, and I have a pool of 12 here.
Okay. So
I will put.
You have your effort. Did you raise your effort at all, or is it
Yeah,
still at a
my
1?
effort is 2 now.
Okay, so then you can raise it. You can lower the difficulty by 2 by spending 4 points in your pool.
All right, we'll do.
Okay. Any other decks or
there's a bunch
related
of stuff here.
skills you might want to start going through that.
Yeah. Trained in all speed defense tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Trained in all tasks involving balance and careful movement.
Mm-hmm.
Trained in all tasks involving physical performing arts.
I can give you that one for that one. So that's 3.
And I'm just double checking. Fleet of foot. That's
more
another story.
It's more of a speed roll, yeah.
Yeah. No need for weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Accuracy power shift.
We can add that.
Dexterity power shift.
We'll put that in there too.
Single attack power shift.
Okay.
And defensive phasing and escape. These things are not available yet because those are tier 2. These are all tier 2. Yeah, okay, so what does that put me at?
Okay, make your 20 roll.
7 total.
6. I counted 6.
Plus
You're not
2.
doing the needs no
2?
weapon?
No, I added that. But you gotta make your roll.
Sure. All right.
Okay. So in that quick motion, you do manage to get him off his feet. So he yells something in a foreign language. So walk me through your entire action, because you're
Okay.
just doing a foot sweep.
Yeah. So after the foot sweep, I'm beelining past him
Mm-hmm.
and out.
Okay.
And when I get to the main floor, I'm not gonna run towards the exit because no, yes, you know what? I will run down the hall. I will run down the hall and continue on, and I'm going to go through the wall.
Okay. So as soon as you get to the landing, the security guard is standing in an open doorway to the lobby. And he say, "Hey!" as you turn and run. "Hey! Hey! Hey!" And you can hear the plague doctor coming down the steps, quickly following.
All right.
Just in that moment, I'm gonna need you to make a defense roll, because what happens is, here's whoa, whoa, whoa! You just happen to look over your shoulder, and he's being lifted and thrown at you.
Holy fuck. Okay. Defense roll requires what? Speed?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so again, two from my pool.
Okay.
So 2 effort. That's 4, right?
4 points from your pool. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Trained in all speed defense tasks.
That's 1 more. That's 3.
Trained in all tasks involving balance and careful movement. Trained in all tasks involving physical performing arts.
All right. So we'll give you the balance and movement.
Okay.
That's
Back up
that's
to
4.
fleet of foot.
Okay, I'll give you that. That's 5.
Accuracy power shift.
No, that's for
That's for striking.
attack rolls.
Okay. Dexterity power shift.
Yes.
You can use that. That's
All
6.
right.
It's 6.
Okay, and that's it for now because
Okay.
defensive phasing isn't active yet.
All right, make your roll.
I'll be glad when I can get that tier 2 stuff up and running.
Mm-hmm. Oof. With that, you get a major effect. So you can do some flary thing as he's flying past you. So describe for me how you're dodging out of the way.
I am going to parkour off the wall to my right,
Mm-hmm.
up, and literally cat jump off the ceiling, the opposite wall,
Mm-hmm.
and back down on the ground as he continues flying forward.
Okay. Doing all that, he's like, "What the fuck? Oh! Ah! Whoa! What are you doing?" He hits the ground, rolls, and then is immediately lifted off the ground. Lifted, and so he lands awkwardly, tumbles, hits the ground. You can hear a thud. You can hear a crack. He's like, "Oh, my foot!" And then he's jolted up. You have his back. He snapped around. He's like, "Whoa! What the fuck?" And he's rushing towards you, like arms and legs flailing behind him. He's like, "Ah!"
All right. At that point, how much more hallway do I have?
You can use your avoiding this particular attack will definitely clear the distance. It will give you enough distance to get to that back door.
Okay. So I will definitely at that point when I see him coming, I'm going to, since I was still running,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to slide, like baseball slide,
Okay.
towards the wall. With the intention of when I hit that wall, I start phasing through.
Okay.
So first there's the stuff I've named in the past, which
Mhm.
is trained in all speed defense tactics.
So outside of the 4 points in your pool, which is the 2, if you do nothing, you would have 4 at a minimum.
Okay. And that would require a roll of what?
That would require you to make the roll, and I could tell you if you made it or not.
Oh, okay. So I'll spend the points because I need to
Okay.
get my ass out of here. That's
All
not a
right.
problem.
So that drops it down a full 6 on your difficulty chart. So go ahead and make your roll. It's not an
right.
automatic, but
That was 4 points from the pool, right?
Correct. So 8 points total.
Okay.
Okay. So with that, the sudden shock of him being lifted off the ground, turning, and then shooting your way, you do the baseball slide and phase through the wall. He's like,
All right.
oh, what the fuck? As you phase through the wall. And
Unfortunately, it's kind of slow. A rate of 1 inch per round.
oof. For your phasing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So with that, as you're starting to phase through the wall, you see he stops again, but he's let go, and then you can see Senor Plague Doctor. He's reaching out, but his head cocks to the side like quizzically as you can see parts of the wall itself being moved, like it's wood. And then it's not wood. It's a wood paneling for the floor. Then you have the
Sheetrock.
sheetrock. All of that's being pulled away from you and through you. All you hear is very curious. And just then he just lights up with this pyroclastic fire all around him. And he's just, as he's about to shoot you, the guy's like, wait, no! He's literally in between the two of you, and that stops him enough, gives you enough time to get through that wall. He's like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Shit,
So you
shit,
find
shit.
yourself in the alley on the outside of that building. There is the street to your right, and the distance is to your left. So in other words, to get to the other side of the block, the easiest egress is to your right, and that's about 30 feet.
That also puts me in the same line as the front door, right?
Correct.
Fine.
No. Actually, no. It's the other side of the building.
Okay. So, yeah, because I'm at the back.
Mm-hmm.
So the quickest way out of the alley, and I am booking it fleet of foot.
Okay. So with that, as you go through it, the wall explodes out just as you hit that corner.
All right. I am making my way as fast as I can out of this area. Shit.
Dwight's new name for his character, Dr. Dammit.
That has always been his name.
What am I seeing here on the street?
So there's the main thoroughfare is about a block away. You can see it.
Mhm.
That's where the bulk of the traffic is. You're at the beginnings of an industrial park. So the main traffic is in the direction that you're heading.
Okay.
It's nighttime, so street lights here and there. New York street lights, orange. They're not casting a wide net of light. So you can dance through the shadows if you choose to, or just haul ass straight through.
Right now, I'm going to haul ass.
Mm-hmm.
And after about half a block, no, actually, you know what? The way that guy has been moving, I don't think trying to hide from him is going to work. I'm hauling ass
Okay.
to get to the thoroughfare.
Okay. And you make it. So you make it at least to the best of your understanding of what making it is. You don't see him. When you get to a point where you can stop and get your 20, get your bearings, and looking around. There's regular traffic, smattering of pedestrians, and it's not. No hairs on the back of your neck are sticking out at this point.
All right.
So
Nearby subway, bus stop. Well, not fuck a bus stop. Nearby subway.
you do see a
taxi
subway.
stand.
You do see
Okay.
a subway, yes.
I'll head for the subway.
Okay,
A brisk walk, not running at this point.
gotcha. All right.
And yeah, I'm gonna go get on the train, mingle with the crowd.
All right. So when
Still wearing the disguise.
you get to the subway.
The World Trade Center bound E train. The next stop is 340.
Yep. Keeping it moving.
Just sitting there. You're finally able to unclench your shoulders long enough to start noticing people are just staring at you. And by people, I mean just guys that would normally leer at you.
Of course. Especially since now I look like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
As long as they keep their hands to themselves, it's all good.
yeah, this isn't going to be one of those where, you know, hey baby, what's going on now? It's like that's kind of hacky, but still, there's a ping coming from Rita.
All right. I surreptitiously take a quick look. I'm not trying to display the damn phone.
Okay, so on the display it says put earpiece in. There's a section on the phone where if you pull it out, you can see it. It's not a stylus, but when you pull it out, it literally changes into an earpiece.
Okay, I take that out, put that in my ear.
So it says, that was an interesting encounter. It's like, if you had listened to me, I would have gotten you out of there sooner.
I wasn't aware that you were listening and watching.
I'm always listening. I'm your personal assistant, am I not?
I'm always watching.
Okay,
You.
point taken. Point taken.
It's like she gives you a statistical rundown of how much faster she would have gotten you out of that situation. And it's almost obnoxious in the way it's presented.
I think in my head, smartass. Okay. All right. Well, since we're on the subject, any suggestions at this moment?
So, pulls up a map of the New York City subway, the line that you're on, the route that you could go, and then your place, your residence, the place that you're staying at, because you were staying at the hotel, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it gives you that route, and then some alternates if you decide to, if you find that you're being tracked. So it's pretty thorough.
Okay. I definitely make note of the main route first,
Mm-hmm.
and then glance at the alternates. Okay, Rita, I definitely appreciate this.
Very good.
Tell me, what did you pick up on while we were in that building?
There were readings that it was getting from your phasing, which was affecting it. Was creating some sort of interference, similar to a localized EM field. So that's what triggered her from her sleep mode.
Oh.
And when she took the assessment, she was trying to contact you, but you were too busy running and ducking and dodging. And you didn't have your communicator. You didn't have your communicator in place, so there was no way she could, outside of pinging you. But you were attempting to negotiate with your assailant, and therefore she could not get to you in time or get your attention.
Understood.
Okay.
Please mark that location on the map. I will definitely be passing the information on.
Gotcha.
You got the text, right, Lou?
All right. So you get to your stop. What are you gonna do at this point?
I'm going to make my way normally, but keeping an eye out to see if to see if I see any trace of that particular dude or anybody else who stands out more than the normal person.
Okay. So, train finally takes off, and this is normal. It's a prototypical New York City night. You didn't, you don't find what is it? No one's trailing you. You get to a point where you feel confident that you're not being followed.
All right.
You're gonna end up back at the hotel it's either a 30-minute walk from where you are, being careful, or you're gonna it'll be like maybe a 5-minute cab ride.
I'll do the walk. Stay careful
Okay.
because I want to keep an eye to see if anybody's watching. I'm gonna stay this cautious until I get to the hotel.
Okay. All right. So now that takes us back to the hotel and Toreador. And unfortunately, Audible's not here. So what we'll do is you guys were sitting with Mo as a matter of fact, and yeah, I noticed that Mo was he was basically trying to mooch. He was doing a very good job of it, by the way. Ordering drinks and food, and talking about everything and nothing. And you and Audible were taking a 20 of the increased security. Now, the increased security could just be because of all the shit that's happening and has happened. You have no indication outside of the sudden appearance of Audible coming back. He's like, yo, she's not 187, if you know what I'm talking about. Oh, wait a minute. He's a bio. So he's not here. Toreador, you back? I'm talking to myself. That's hilarious.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm back now.
Okay.
I literally just left a second ago.
No, that's fine. So, a really pallid. I mean, he's a black guy, so having a pallid complexion, a pallid pallor on his face is weird. But he's just like he just waves you over. He's like, yo, I just saw fucking Crosshair in the lobby getting in the elevator. Are we sure are we sure we did what we did? Are you?
You saw Crosshair
Yeah.
in the lobby.
I'm not that drunk, bro. I just saw the bitch getting on the elevator. She looked me right in the fucking eyes. It's like she didn't even know. She didn't recognize me. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know.
Does she have a twin or something?
I normally don't make those kind of mistakes.
Yeah, we literally followed her as she was trying to kill us, and they saw her hit the damn building and they turn into freaking mist.
I need to look at it for myself.
Hey, fellas, what's going on? Are we partying or not?
Yeah, Mo?
Yes.
I look over at Mo. I'm like,
Like what?
go have
Something happened?
go
He's
have-
like, you
go have
look
another-
like you just saw a ghost.
go have another drink, bro. I'll be there in a sec.
Hey, Chrissy, get over here. Another round for me and my friends. So with that, Now you can. Now you're noticing the security. The security guards are doing this, and they're all looking at you guys in your direction
Mm-hmm.
from every corner.
All right.
So he's like, "Oh fuck."
Let's get ready to rumble.
It's like, yo, I think we might need to fight our way out of here.
No. I'm gonna use this.
It's like, are you serious? It's like
Yeah.
literally the bitch has just walked in, and we tried to murk her ass.
No, we ain't tried. We did. I still got a handful of her teeth.
It's like, so then the bitch have his twin. Let's just hope they're not triplets.
Well, I aim to find out.
He reaches over and grabs his drink and just throws the whole thing back. He's like, I think this ain't good. So I can take out maybe one or two, but not all of them.
No, we don't gotta take out nothing. Let me handle this.
So,
And take my. I sit my cognac and I wait. I wait for the inevitable to come.
okay, and that
Let's see
that inevitable does come a few minutes later. Well, not even a minute. It just almost as if you manifested the universe manifested it for you. That shadow slowly creeps into that door frame. Giant suited shadow. And starts walking towards you guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I hope he's like, you guys enjoying yourself, huh? That's good. The boss needs to talk to you. Come on,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
So I get up, start to follow him.
He's like, it's through there. Let's go. He means to walk behind you.
So I go wherever he told me to go.
Mm-hmm. You walk towards the elevators, and you notice their eyes, all of his boys, his security, they're all following you with their as you're walking through, it's just like a funeral procession, and now you get to the elevator. He gets in with you. He's like, he's like, pendejos. He hits the button for the 23rd floor. Looks at his watch, looks at his phone as the whole thing's going up. Audible is just like, so Chili, what's says you working for these people now? And no, just cold. Just he's not even answering him, not registering him, just staring straight ahead as Audible's trying to talk to him. You can see this.
He tries to talk to him. I look over to Audible. Don't talk to the peasants.
This vein on his temple is starting to throb. You know how when people grind their teeth with their mouth closed, you can see that muscle tensing?
Yeah.
Oh, he's...
I tell him like that too, real clear.
Mm-hmm.
I tell him, Audible, don't talk to the peasants. If he was important, he'd be in a better place.
So with that, his gaze lowers and he just turns his head to look at you from over his shoulder.
Look at me. I don't even pay attention to him. I'm tracking him, but I'm not even paying attention to him. I just miss him like the half-breed he is. Because I'm fucking Spaniard and he's just a nigga.
Okay.
Damn.
Damn. But that is the pretty predominant prejudice of most Spaniards. Yes, for a good portion of them towards non-Spaniards, particularly island Caribbean Hispanics. So just as he was about to turn and say something, the door, ding, and the doors open up.
Yep. And I walk through.
So with that, doors close, and he stays on the elevator. All you can hear is "next time, cabrón," and as the doors close, and it opens up into this. It's essentially the seat of power, where you've seen the Hotel Continental show.
Yeah.
Right, so that grand spectacle of a place, fireplace, giant bay windows, and there you can see Sal and like 4 of his guys, 2 on each side. They're both carrying automatic weapons, and he's looking at something on his phone. Finally, he notices you guys, fellas. My guys, come here. Have a seat.
So I walk over, but I don't have a seat.
All right. And Audible takes his cues from you. He's like, all right.
So look, this is how I'm projecting. All right. So when I come in, I project a sense of authority. And when he starts to talk to me, I make him feel a sense of that I made a poor choice. Like he sees the disappointment of me supporting him. He can feel the ire that I picked the wrong Italian to back. He can see it in my face. I give him the sense of a disappointed father.
Okay.
That's what I'm projecting right now.
He just stares at you for a second and picks up a remote. He's like, "You guys care to explain this?" And he clicks it, and you can see security footage of Crosshair crossing the threshold of the lobby and getting on the elevator. It's like, so you say you killed her. You brought me some. You brought me some bloody rags and half a jawbone. You say it's her. We're having it tested, just to verify. Give as a gesture of trust. And care to explain?
Like, it just seems like I chose to back the wrong person. Apparently, she can defy death. What can you actually do?
She can defy death. So let me see if I understand this correctly. Because, I'm a little, I'm not as smart as people make me out to be, right?
Apparently.
Clearly, I had a couple of guys who I thought were professionals. You being from out of town, not too many people know you. It'd be easy. Bing, bam, boom. You took the job, you took the money, and you took the credit. But this doesn't say that the job was done. This says you lied and you took my money. And you killed some poor, innocent schmuck and made it look like my niece.
So you're just in the job of making assumptions? Because I know what I did.
So who's that?
Beats the fuck out of me.
And you guys, He's like, man, you fucking spics are so fucking funny. So you
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
to tell me that you know what you did, but I got proof? I talked to her. She sat at the dinner table, acting like nothing ever happened. And you're telling me you know what you did, and this is it. Is that what I'm hearing? But somehow you backed the wrong Italian.
Yeah, apparently, because her power apparently is greater than yours.
So with that, he slams the table. He's like, power? The fuck you talking about power? That bitch ain't got no power to defy death.
She's standing right there, and I got a handful of her teeth in my fucking pocket.
Nah,
So explain that.
you got a handful of teeth. Ain't from my niece, though.
Oh, it's definitely from your niece. We follow her chubby ass all the way down to the ground, and watch it become fucking pizza.
That's funny.
And there's only one of those rifles that she owns, and you got that too.
Yeah, you got that from the fight that she was having with with my new guy. Okay, you picked that up along the way. You picked up a nice little souvenir to make the
Yeah.
story a little bit more believable. So here's what's gonna happen. Kind of, you caught me in a little bit of flux here. You're gonna leave town today, and you ain't never coming back. Your New York privileges have been suspended, revoked, in fact. My boys here gonna escort you out of the hotel. We're gonna check you out, nice and neat. All your things are being gathered up in your rooms, and they'll be waiting for you outside in a car to wherever you're gonna go. But it ain't here. Not one of the boroughs. Not even Staten Island. If I hear you coming back, sneaking in, making some inroads, I won't be so generous. Professional courtesy. So I know where
How
you came
far
from.
is he from me at this desk?
It's probably about 20 feet since you didn't sit.
Well, I walked to the chair and stood in front of the chair. I didn't
Yeah.
sit. Right.
About 20 feet.
He's 20 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
That's short range.
That is short range.
And there's
He's like,
two
and
cronies with automatic weapons.
he's like, before you go ahead and get any bright ideas, maybe, doing some of your bullfighting bullshit, you might want to think twice. Just saying. Like I said, professional courtesy. He's like, my father and your father go way back. Only reason why we're even having this conversation. But you talking to Audible. You, I don't have to be so courteous to. The only reason why you're still breathing is because of him. So, one-time offer. Take it or leave it. Your choice.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna surprise attack his ass. I'm gonna fucking feed him a fucking poison dagger. I got a level 3 poison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Says I start off a level 3 poison. I'm gonna feed him this fucking dagger down his throat.
Okay.
Hold on, let's see. All right, here we go. So it's a light weapon, practiced, surprise attack. What does that do? Let me see. If attack from a hidden vantage with a surprise or beyond your opponent's act has acted, you get an asset on the attack. On a successful hit, you inflict 2 additional damage. So I get an asset for this attack. Or is he expecting it? By the sound of his bravado, I'm pretty sure he didn't expect me to do this. And how the hell does he know my father? The level 2 poison, blade poison. 3 doses of level 2 blade poison.
He doesn't know your father.
He was talking to Audible then?
No, he's talking to you.
Saying that his father and your father know each other.
I came here unaware of anybody, so I'm not accepting that bullshit from him right now. Okay, I got a accuracy power shift. That lowers it by what? 1?
Mm-hmm.
Attack roll eased by 1 step. I have an asset from the hitting attack. That's 2 steps.
Mm-hmm.
Movement of activated initiative, speed, defense. No. This one, attack rolls are eased by 1 step per shift, and additional 3 points of damage. That's 3. At 3 steps down. That's 3 steps down and 5 damage extra so far. I'm good to safe to say it's a speed test.
Yes. So you can use use speed points from your speed pool up to your effort level.
So my effort level is a 2.
Okay.
So I can lower it by 2 more.
Yep. It would. And do you have an edge in your speed?
According to this, no.
So then it would cost you 5 from your pool.
So it's 5 from my pool.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2. That's 5 steps down.
Mm-hmm.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I got 8 left. Is there anything else in here? No. I think that's it.
All right. So total 5 steps.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I lowered it by 15 points.
Okay. Make your roll.
Make my roll. That's an 18.
Ooh. So you get a minor effect as you let the dagger fly. What is your minor effect? You were aiming for his throat, so that could be the minor effect as a called shot. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So with that, dagger flies, doesn't even register at first. You know, you make the motion, the dagger flies, hits, goes through. You can hear it thunk the back of his chair. Just then, his entire frame distorts, and he disappears and appears behind you. He's like, oh, I fucking knew. I knew. You fucking idiots. You think I'm stupid enough to come into a room with these 4 jamokes by myself? Man, people really think I'm that stupid. And then he disappears again, and then he appears again. He's like, holo projectors, you fucking momos. And then he points, and you can see them positioned along the walls.
Like, I'm impressed you can even pronounce that word.
Yeah, I know you are. Everybody seems to underestimate me. That's just the best part of this job. He's like, but they're not. He's like, but they're not holograms. Kill these fuckers. And then they're all just with their weapons ready. Oh, yeah. And we're going to stop it with that. So, I'm going to stop the game today at that. So I have to go to work early, and I apologize. But for Audible, Architect, Access, Mystic Knight, Toreador, Ethera, and Crosshair, who aren't here, I am DM Discretion. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you in the next adventure.